The image depicts the medieval period of hospitality. This period emphasized community-based hospitality rather than commercialized services. The image depicts the Industrial Revolution period of hospitality, 18th–19th century. This era saw the emergence of grand hotels, fine dining establishments, and luxurious venues catering to the growing middle and upper classes. This image appears to depict a dining scene from the early to mid-20th century. These were the spaces where dining was not just about food, but also about entertainment and spectacle. Roman hospitality hospitalitas originated in the 5th–4th centuries BCE, influenced by Greek and Etruscan traditions, emphasizing generosity, duty, and social obligation. Ancient Roman businessmen traveled extensively via well-maintained roads, horseback, chariots, riverboats, and ships for trade, commerce, and diplomacy. After the Roman Empire's collapse, religious orders took responsibility for public hospitality. The English travelers in the medieval period are also called Anglo-Saxons. The most common reasons for traveling were to visit a shrine or to seek medical assistance. Many were satisfied with visiting a fairly local shrine. Many inns offered only communal sleeping, but private and locked rooms became more and more prevalent during this period. Apart from regular innkeeping, many inns also functioned as centers for marketing of such diverse products as fish, beer, wine, and sometimes cloth. The stagecoach was a closed four-wheeled vehicle drawn by horses or hard-going mules. It was regularly used as a public conveyance on an established route, usually to a regular schedule. Spent horses were replaced with fresh horses at stage stations, posts, or relays. Hotel de Henry IV was built in Nantes in 1788 at a total cost of £17,500. It had 60 beds and was considered the finest in Europe at that time. In the 18th century, coffee houses became extremely popular in Europe and were incorporated into many of the inns. In the 18th century, the New World, primarily referring to the Americas, was a rapidly evolving landscape of colonies, settlements, and indigenous territories. Eating and sleeping arrangements varied widely depending on the location, the social class of the individual, and the purpose of their travel or settlement. Eating and sleeping arrangements were heavily influenced by one's social class, geographic location, and whether they were settled or traveling. The 18th century saw a blending of European, indigenous, and African influences in food and lodging styles, especially in colonies where diverse populations coexisted. For travelers, taverns and inns were essential, serving as places to rest, eat, and socialize. When the French Revolution commenced, the evolution of culinary, led by Georges-Auguste d'Escoffier, who was known as the father of modern restaurant, was evident. The concept of a brigade system was developed in 1846 by Escoffier himself, in which it was influenced by his service at the French army. He structurized a system that has 20 cook positions and made sure that the system and every cook had a purpose. The revolution made a huge impact on the lives of the French, including how they consumed and produced food. Despite chefs losing their jobs because of the crumbling of the society and the monarchy, they started to build their own restaurant, which resulted to a rise of food establishments. General Manager César Ritz. Ritz got to know many wealthy and famous people while working as a waiter and manager in hotels in Paris and Europe. He met these people while serving them at his hotels, and they became guests at his hotels. Ritz's innovative approaches included mandating the customer is always right and prioritizing hygiene and cleanliness. His legacy extends beyond his hotels, as his name has become synonymous with high-class cuisine and accommodation. Auguste Escoffier became known as a chef through his innovative recipes, kitchen management skills, and work at prestigious restaurants. He was also known as the King of Chefs, after being praised by Kaiser Wilhelm. President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal, 1933 to 1938, was a series of programs and projects addressing the Great Depression, providing relief, recovery, and reform through initiatives like the CCC, FHA, and Social Security Act. Winston Churchill's "We Shall Fight on the Beaches" speech rallied Britons during World War II, urging resilience amidst Germany's dominance. His iconic words emphasized determination to defend Britain. Mao Zedong, China's communist leader, famously dismissed the atomic bomb's power in 1946, calling it a paper tiger. This statement downplayed the devastating effects of nuclear weapons. Despite the recent atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the Beatles proclaimed "All you need is love" during the 1967 Summer of Love, spreading a message of unity and challenging traditional norms through their music, fashion, and philosophy, capturing a global audience of 400 million during the first live international TV broadcast. Rising from a solo eatery in 1929 to a beloved American chain, only to falter and close its final location in 2022. Explore pivotal strategies like franchising, resilience during economic downturns, and the ultimate failure to evolve, leading to the demise of an iconic brand. Motel in the world's first motor hotel. The famous visited. Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio had honeymoon lunch there. Ronald Reagan campaigned there. Construction begins summer 2017, 55 rooms and Airstream trailers.